Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Cole. I love makeup, beauty and books, and if you want to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe. Today I thought we would do one of my favourite videos. You know I love a swatch party, and today I thought we would swatch my Glaminatrix shadows. This is my Glaminatrix palette. The shadows are currently not in it, so I could give it a good old one. But this is my Glaminatrix palette. I'm going to swatch the shadows for you today. My lovely boyfriend will be helping out again, letting me swatch on his arm. A couple of you guys noticed in my last swatch party video, which was my Terra Moons one, that it was not my arm. I'm really pleased you guys noticed it was not my arm, because that you know, it's pretty hairy. So today we're going to be running through all of my Glaminatrix shadows. Glaminatrix have the most beautiful formula. I've never actually tried any of her set palettes, but the shadows I have I really love. There's not a shade here that I don't enjoy the formula of. So we're just going to run through what I've got. I'm going to explain them to you, and then we're going to overlay the swatches over the top. I do hope you do enjoy this. If you've tried Glaminatrix shadows, let me know which shades you love. If you haven't tried them yet, let me know which shades you've got your eyes on, and let me know how you feel about their palettes as well, because I might maybe have to make an order in the new year once my spending ban's over. So let's get straight into it. I've taken these out of my palette so they're really easy to grab, so sticking my fingers in them. First off, we've got the shade Mermaid Scales. Now, as you can probably see from the camera and from the swatch, this is a beautiful duochrome. It's a white with pink and blue reflex in it. Really gives that look of mermaid scales. Feel like it would have gone perfectly on today's look, which by the way is using the Cosmic Brushes Gothic palette, so I'll leave that down in the description box. This is really beautiful. I find their shimmers really easy. They're not too flaky like some duochromes can be. Then the next shade we've got is Frosting. This is a bit of a neutral one for me. It's like a warm peachy brown shade, like a light kind of vanilla peach, I'm gonna say. Just got that all over my jumper. Let's hope that comes out. It's like a vanilla peach shade, I would describe it. It's really pretty shimmer, nothing too over the top, but I think it's a really nice staple one. Then next up we have Candy Egg, which is another kind of duochrome shade. This is like a peach to pink duochrome. I absolutely love these. These were from an Easter collection, I think. There's a couple in here, and then there's like also like Mermaid Scales, I think was in like a mystical collection. I don't know what you can get and what you can't get, but I'm going to leave Glaminatrix's website in the description box. But this one is a beautiful peachy shade. It can be a little bit crumbly sometimes, but very pretty. This one is the shade Fire Orchid. This is gorgeous. It's like purple, pink, blue, orange, stunning duochrome, but this is super flaky. I don't know whether you can see from like in the pan, but it's just like quite flaky. So it can be very messy, just like a huge chunk of it has just flew out. But this shade is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a bit of yellow in here. It's just like glittery, toppery. I'd probably actually go as far to say it's a multi-chrome. You'll see in the swatch, it's just absolutely stunning. It's by far my favourite shade from Glaminatrix, and I love all of these shades, but there's just something about that one. It's perfect. Then we've got one that came a little battered when it came all the way from Oz, which was the only one actually, and it's not actually broken. It's just sort of shattered the top of it. This is Musk, which is just a perfect generic like purpley baby pink shade. You know I love these kind of shades. If you've watched my swatch with me before, I have a lot of these kind of shades. It's nothing exciting. It's just like a muted pink, and I just think these are perfect for blending reds, purples, pinks, anything like that out. Then we've got another muted pink. This one's a little darker. This one is Fate. This one's a little bit more peachy, slightly less purple, but again a really pretty blending out shade, one I use really often. It's just easy to use and easy to have on hand. Next up, we've got the other favourite from my palette. This is like my favourite matte. I think Fire Orchid just picks it to be my favourite, but it's definitely my second. This is broken. This is Flamingo, which is the most incredible neon bright pink. I said in my Terra Moons one, they've got a bright kind of neon orangey coral there. This is bright neon pink and I absolutely adore it. It's so beautiful. It has just done the same thing, funnily enough, as the other one. And sort of the top of it is like half cracked off. They are a little on the dry side, these shadows, but I don't find it ever affects the blend. It just means they do things like this, which is kind of annoying. But let's face it, am I ever going to go through a full shadow? No. So it's a really beautiful shade. I'm just going to wipe it off my foot and then we'll be back. Okay, this I feel like is a perfect example of sometimes when shipping eyeshadows, they can get damaged, and sometimes you don't even know they're damaged until you like lift them up out of the pan and it falls all over you. There's neon pink everywhere now, but we're just gonna ignore it. It's literally everywhere. Oh my gosh. I thought I got it all and I've just had a giant load on my foot and on the bedding. Oh god. This is why I can't have nice things, because makeup goes all over them. Right, we're just going to roll with the fact that the bedding now has bright pink highlights. Am I going to carry on? Okie dokie. Next shade we have, this one is Fruit Tingle. This is a really interesting mid-tone purple. It actually looks a little lighter in camera, but it's actually quite deep. It's not deep dark, but it's kind of a deep pinky purple. Kind of the colour of an orchid, which I absolutely love. Has got a white base, so could potentially look ashy on some people, but this is a really gorgeous shade and something a little bit different. I couldn't actually say, I don't think I've got a shade like this in my collection. That might be untrue because I've got a big collection, but it's a really gorgeous shade. Next up we have another one of their shimmer shades. This is Sprite. This is, yeah, I would say it was a duochrome. Yeah, it's like a pinky corally colour which has flashes of blue in it, has flashes of lilac in it. It's really, really stunning. It doesn't look like much in the pan. Like, it just looks like a normal shimmer shade, but in fact it's really reflective and kind of goes that kind of like purpley brown shade that black brown does, but then you've got orange and you've got pink, and I feel like I reference black brown a lot in these videos because it was super, no, not black brown, green brown, what was it called? Blue brown, sorry, from MAC, a lot in these videos, and I do keep realising that in fact that was a trend in like 2013, so the fact is some of you watching this will have no idea what I'm talking about, but if you've been in the beauty space for a long time, you'll know exactly what I mean by blue brown. It was a pigment from MAC. It was like the first kind of duochrome thing that sort of became popular, and it shined this most beautiful like taupey bluey purpley colour. So it's something you see in a lot of duochromes, so that's why I reference that all the time. Then we have Bloom, which is one of these marbled shades. This is a really pretty like cranberry shimmer colour. The white in the middle just gives it like an extra bit of shine, and it has a goldy kind of reflect. Depends on where you sort of swirl your brush and how much you get, but some of it is kind of like a deeper cranberry and then others is like a really light gold. So overall it kind of mixes to like a mid-tone pink, which is beautiful. I love a marbled shadow for looking at them, but sometimes I think they're not as effective because obviously they're not consistent in the colour and the amount of colour you pick up. Then we've got some really kind of neutral autumn colours for me. This one is Sweet Peach, which is sort of a peach, but I would describe it as more of like a very light terracotta shade. Nothing to like write home about, not the most amazing shadow in the world. It's just a really pretty lighter terracotta. And then kind of its darker, slightly more purple sister is Adore. This again is that terracotta kind of shade, but this one has got a lot more purple in it, so it gives it kind of more of like a reddy terracotta vibe rather than a kind of peachy terracotta. Then a beautiful burnt orange. This one is Pumpkin Spice. I think this one's name is just perfect. It's a gorgeous burnt orange, like mid-tone, something that in the winter and the autumn I use a lot. Very, very, very pigmented. Does give you a little bit of fallout, which a lot of these shadows do, but it's 100% worth dealing with. We have Watermelon, which to me is more red. I kind of imagine Watermelon as like a pinky shade, but this is a orangey red shade. This is a little bit drier than some of the other shadows, but I think it really helps actually with the red, making it so it doesn't have to be too kind of dark and burgundy like. This is kind of Pumpkin Spice's like older, more mature sister. Bit deeper, bit darker, but beautiful. And then we have Bauxite, which is a dark red shade. Again, this one's quite powdery, but this is your kind of true deep pinky red shade. This is absolutely gorgeous. A lot of the deeper shades do have more fallout, like I don't know whether you can see that on my hand from where I swatched it, but as I said, I'm a eyes before face makeup kind of gal anyway, so doesn't bother me. This Bauxite shade stains like crazy, so if you're gonna wear it and you're not gonna wear makeup the day after, don't plan to go anywhere, because you're gonna look like you've got a eye infection, which, I mean, if you don't mind that, then that's fine, but like, that's the entire of my hand. That one's getting swatched last on Zamzam, or it's never coming off. Right, moving on to yellows. This first one is a really cute pastel yellow shade. It's actually called Mellow. It's a really pretty shade. I could imagine this being a bit ashy on some people as it is white based, but if you really love a kind of yellow look and you want to really blow it out, this is perfect. The best way I could describe this is the colour of yellow chalk, which is beautiful. I love that colour. I think it's really cute. It's great in the spring. I like doing like a white gold shimmer on the lid. This in the crease, draw some little daisies on it. It's perfect. Then we have got a more kind of true duck yellow. This one is Banana Split. I could have gone with banana yellow, but instead I went with duck, when ducks in real life aren't even yellow. I meant rubber duck yellow. But this is a bright yellow shade. Looks great blended into Mellow. Very, very bright, very intense in pigment. I feel like even on like a medium or a darker skin tone, this would show up really gorgeously. Again, great used in the same way as Mellow to kind of do like a little daisy look, but also looks amazing blending out those red shades that I've just showed you for kind of more like a fiery autumnal look. Then we've got what looks like a very, very basic shade. This is Sparks Fly, which is a gold shimmer, but this is so wet looking. It is incredible. Like, without any sort of like glitter primer or anything underneath it, any kind of mixing medium, it's just the most stunning metallic gold. I absolutely love this one. I think it's one of the best golds in my collection by far, because it actually looks gold on the lid, not like a yellowy brown. Next up, we've got that kind of acid lime green that you guys know I love. This is Algae. This one doesn't look as bright on the lens, but it's a really stunning bright green. Kind of reminds me of Terra Moon's Pickled Peas. It's that kind of like pukey green. You know, I love these kind of colours. I just think they're really different. Again, great for blending out a green smoky eye, but also looks great on its own. Then we've got a kind of mossy green, but a very pale mossy green. This shade is Vine. That's what that one looks like. This is like a cross between a mint and a sage. But it's very, very light. It's a gorgeous kind of pastel sage colour, which I do not think you come across very often. This one is really lovely. Again, white base, so could potentially look ashy on some people, but on my pale skin it looks stunning. Then we have Pixie. This is another one that doesn't look like a duochrome, but is. This is kind of a light minty shimmer with a little bit of the blue reflect. It's a lot more subtle than some of the other duochromes that I've mentioned, but it's really pretty. Again, it's very, very metallic. I love this one pressed on the lid if I've done like a blue look in the crease. Just looks stunning. And then we've got a true kind of mid-forest green. This one is Field. This isn't as bright as it looks in the pan. It is a bit more kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like a grass green. It's just got a little bit of something to it. It's a little bit deeper, kind of verging on the grass green spectrum, but sort of at the end. This one is super duochromatic. This one is Fairy Garden. This is green with a pink reflect. This one is stunning. Again, very wet looking. Little bit more powdery than some of the other shades, but so worth it for the way it looks on the lid. This looks amazing basically with any colour in the crease. Somehow it just always works. I think it's because it's that perfect mix of cool and warm toned. Then we've got another one of their kind of really wet metallic shades. This is Meadow, which is like a medium metallic green. It's not quite kind of emerald, but it's not a mint. It's kind of in the middle. It is like a perfect like grass green. It's got a little bit of like gold to it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Looks very wet, as I said. And it's the same kind of formula as the gold you'll see in the swatch. It's just beautiful. Perfect for any kind of like jewel tone look, so it looks great with really, really deep greens in the crease, or like really deep royal blues or purples. Another duochrome, again from that kind of Easter collection. This is Bunny. This is like a pink, no, a blue, green, white, gold duochrome. It looks absolutely beautiful. Again, a really great lid shade. I do think there might be a little bit of yellow matte on there currently, but this is beautiful on the lid with Mellow, on the lid with Banana Split, on the lid with Moss. Are you called Moss? Vine, not Moss, Vine. So those kind of shades that kind of would normally be used as blend-in shades look amazing in the crease with this on the lid, because it's that perfect kind of light tone. Then we've got a very, very bright teal. This one is Posy. This is sort of that perfect balanced teal. Enough green, enough blue. Gives me kind of sea vibes, like Mediterranean seas. It's absolutely beautiful. I use this one a lot for blending out like a dark green or a dark blue look, because I think it adds that little pop of green, gives it something just a little bit more interesting. Then this is another duochrome. This one is Imp. This is like a blue green as opposed to a blue pink, sorry, as opposed to a green pink. So here's Fairy Garden, which is very much a green pink, and then here's Imp, which as you can see is very much kind of a bluey teal pink duochrome. Again, stunning. Again, you'll see in the swatch how beautiful it is. Just so gorgeous. Their duochromes are so good. Then we've got a really, really special shade. This one is Oceanic, and this one is, oh, it's so creamy, it's so beautiful. It's a blue with a little bit of gold, a little bit of green glitter. I wouldn't exactly call it duochrome, it's almost just got those kind of coloured glitters in, but again that very, very metallic formula like the gold. Great, okay, moving on to the kind of true blues. We've got Coast, which is a just medium blue, kind of slightly deeper than the sky kind of blue. Really pretty, very easy to work with for a blue, very just it's just beautiful. It's just a blue. It's nothing overly exciting, but it's just a really nice blue. Then we've got a kind of deeper, slightly periwinkle blue. This has only got a tiny weeny touch of purple in it, but it just makes it so it's a little bit of something different. It's got a really kind of bright, kind of the colour that children would paint the sky. Again, could potentially see it being a bit ashy, as it has got a little bit of a white base to it. A lot of these have, but for my kind of skin tone, medium skins, this is going to look beautiful. Then we've got a super deep grey blue. This one is Midnight, and it's definitely like a grey toned blue, not as deep as some blues. I'd say it's like the deep end of a mid blue, but this one is great for outer crease work. Looks beautiful as a liner smudged into the lashes. Then a couple more of these kind of really thick metallic shimmers. This one is Bonnet. This is like a lilac with a bit of a yellow reflect to it. Not quite as obviously duochrome as some of these, but nevertheless a really pretty kind of shifty shade. Like I said, it's like a lilac with a little bit of gold in it. And then we've got the kind of counterpart to the gold. This is the silver. This one is Flourish. Again, it's that really, really metallic wet formula. This one is a little more flaky almost than the gold. It's not quite as smooth, but it does still give that beautiful smooth metallic on the lid. Some may say this one is a boring shade, but I love these kind of shades. This is Breathless, which is like a mushroomy colour almost. It's like a mushroomy lilac. So beautiful to blend out a smoky eye. Looks great with the silver in the crease with a little bit of black, or a little bit of deep purple, or even a little bit of that deep green deep greeny blue I've just showed you. I feel like this is like an underrated kind of shade. I love a mushroomy purple taupey moment. Then we've got Grace, which is a really pretty lilac metallic. Nothing too exciting about this one. The same kind of formula as the gold, maybe just a little less intense, but really pretty lilac colour. It's not got like too much brown or too much grey as some lilacs have. It's like a true lightened purple. This lilac is a bit more blue. This one is Periwinkle, which I think is the perfect colour because it's like a periwinkle mixed with a lilac. I love a lilac shadow, you guys know that, and with a little bit of blue in it. Makes it really easy to use and a bit more exciting because you can use it with both blue looks, with both purple looks. Then we have Sittin' Pretty, which is a medium purple shade. It's nothing overly exciting. I don't know why I'm showing you that because the swatches are on the screen. It's just a medium purple shade. Again, has got quite a lot of white in it, but it's really pretty. Looks great blended out on its own. Looks great with something darker in the crease. Just a good like generic purple mid-tone to have. Then we have Portello, which again is another kind of mushroomy colour. This one's like a mushroom grey brown kind of shade. I don't buy a lot of browns in my single eyeshadows, but something about this one really intrigued me. This looks beautiful blended into something like Periwinkle for a bit more purple, blended into the Breathless shade for something that's a bit more grey. Looks great with a silver on the lid, but also works well with a brown or a gold on the lid as well. So it's a really, really versatile shade. Second to last, we've got the deepest shade in my palette. This is Burlesque, which is a really deep kind of navy toned purple. It's so gorgeous, really, really, really densely pigmented. Does get quite a lot of fallout, but this looks great. Again, smudged along the lash line. Looks great as liner. Looks great in the crease. Looks great everywhere, and it makes a gorgeous smoky eye blended out with one of the other purples. And then last but not least, we have Pistol, which is a gorgeous gunmetal colour. Again, same kind of formula as the other, like the gold and the silver. This is a very, very kind of black toned gunmetal colour. There's no green, no blue, no purple to it. It's like a true black toned gunmetal. Looks great in a smoky eye. It looks great blended in with the silver. Really great. So that is my Glaminatrix palette. I hope you did enjoy this. Let me know what of my shades that you love the most. I'm absolutely covered in eyeshadow. I need to go and wash my hands before I touch anything. But I do hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, hit subscribe. And if you want to make sure you never miss another video, hit the bell icon and YouTube will notify you next time I post. You've been fabulous. I've been Call the Ball, and I'll see you next time. Bye!